Have you ever heard of a king chosen not by birthright, but by destiny itself? A tale of magic, honor, and a kingdom that became a legend. This is the story of King Arthur. Our journey begins in a land riddled with strife and division. Britain was a fractured kingdom, desperate for a true leader. In the midst of this chaos, a prophecy echoed through the land, whispered by the enigmatic wizard, Merlin. A sword, magically embedded in a stone, appeared in a churchyard. On its hilt, an inscription declared that whoever could pull the blade from the stone would be the rightful king of all Britain. Knights and nobles from every corner of the realm tried their luck, their muscles straining, their pride on the line. But the sword, Excalibur, refused to yield. It was as if the stone itself was waiting for its master. Then a young boy named Arthur, a simple squire, unaware of his royal lineage, approached the stone. He wasn't trying to prove his strength or claim a throne. He just needed a sword for his foster brother. With an innocent pull, he drew Excalibur from its stony sheath as easily as if it were set in butter. The crowd was stunned. A boy, a nobody, had achieved what the mightiest warriors could not. Merlin then revealed Arthur's true heritage. He was the son of the late King Uther Pendragon, hidden away for his own safety. And so, with the legendary sword in his hand and a kingdom in turmoil before him, Arthur was crowned king. His reign had begun. With the crown upon his head, King Arthur faced an enormous task: to unite a broken land. He envisioned a kingdom built not on fear, but on justice, chivalry, and honor. This vision gave birth to Camelot, a shining castle and a symbol of hope for a new era. But a king, no matter how great, cannot rule alone. Arthur knew he needed the bravest, most noble warriors in the land by his side. So he established the Knights of the Round Table. The table was round for a reason. At this table, every knight was equal. There was no head, no hierarchy, just a brotherhood bound by a sacred oath to protect the weak, uphold justice, and serve the realm. Names like Sir Lancelot, the greatest swordsman of his time, Sir Galahad, the pure of heart, Sir Gawain, the ever courteous and loyal nephew to the king, and many others, became legends in their own right. Together, they formed an unparalleled fellowship. Under Arthur's leadership, the Knights of the Round Table became the protectors of Camelot. Their quests were the stuff of epics. They rode out to face down threats that plagued the countryside, from ambitious rival kings seeking to conquer their lands, to terrifying mythical beasts that emerged from the dark forests and misty moors. They confronted dark sorcerers and enchantresses, like the cunning Morgan Le Fay, Arthur's own half-sister, whose magical schemes constantly threatened the peace of the kingdom. Camelot flourished. It became a beacon of civilization, a golden age of peace and prosperity, all thanks to the courage of Arthur and his knights. But even the brightest light casts a shadow. As Camelot reached its zenith, a new, more profound challenge emerged. One that would test the very soul of the Round Table. Whispers of a sacred, mystical artifact, the Holy Grail, began to circulate. It was said to be the cup used by Christ at the Last Supper, possessing miraculous powers of healing and granting eternal youth. The quest for the Holy Grail became the ultimate trial of a knight's virtue and piety. Many of the best knights, including Lancelot and Gawain, embarked on this perilous spiritual journey. The quest scattered the fellowship, sending them on individual paths filled with temptation and danger. While some, like the pure-hearted Galahad, succeeded, The quest also exposed the flaws and sins within the Brotherhood, creating rifts that would never fully heal. The unity of the Round Table began to fray. And it was during this time of vulnerability that the darkest threat to Camelot arose, not from an external enemy, but from within. Mordred, Arthur's illegitimate son, a man consumed by bitterness and ambition, saw his opportunity. He was the antithesis of everything Camelot stood for, a creature of deceit and treachery. Mordred began to sow seeds of discord, poisoning minds against the king and exposing the kingdom's deepest secrets. He revealed the affair between Arthur's most trusted knight, Sir Lancelot, and his beloved queen, Guinevere. This devastating betrayal shattered the core of the court. The love triangle between Arthur, Lancelot, and Guinevere became a public scandal, forcing Arthur to act against his wife and his best friend. The Brotherhood of the Round Table was broken. Knight turned against knight, and the once unbreakable fellowship dissolved into factions and civil war. Camelot, the shining beacon of hope, was plunged into darkness. The tragic tale of King Arthur reaches its heart-wrenching conclusion on the blood-soaked battlefield of Camelot. The civil war, ignited by Mordred's treachery, had ravaged the land, leaving a trail of devastation. What was once a unified kingdom was now a wasteland of broken alliances and shattered dreams. The final confrontation was inevitable. Arthur, his heart heavy with sorrow for the kingdom he had built and lost, led his remaining loyal followers to face Mordred's army. It was a battle of ghosts, a clash between a father and a son, a king and a usurper. The fighting was brutal and desperate. By the end of the day, the field was littered with the fallen, the best and bravest of Britain. Nearly all the knights of the Round Table lay dead. In the midst of the carnage, Arthur spotted Mordred. With the last of his strength, he charged, knowing this was the end. He ran his spear through Mordred, but as his treacherous son fell, he dealt Arthur a mortal wound. As the king lay dying, he commanded his last loyal knight, Sir Bedivere, to return the sword Excalibur to the Lady of the Lake. After hesitating twice, Bedivere finally threw the enchanted blade into the water. A mystical hand rose from the depths, caught the sword, and drew it beneath the surface forever. Arthur's reign was over. His body was then carried away by 3 mysterious queens on a barge to the mythical island of Avalon, a place between worlds, where it was said he would be healed of his wounds. Though King Arthur's physical body was gone and Camelot had fallen, his spirit never died. The story ends not with defeat, but with a promise. A legend was born, the legend of the once and future king. It is said that when Britain faces its darkest hour, King Arthur will return to lead his people once more. His story has been told and retold for centuries, a timeless symbol of ideal leadership, unwavering honor, and the eternal hope that even in the face of betrayal and ruin, the ideals of justice and nobility will endure. Arthur's legend continues to inspire us, a reminder that true greatness lies not in invincibility, but in the courage to fight for what is right, no matter the cost. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of legend. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tales from history and myth. Let us know in the comments which legend you'd like to see us explore next. Until then, farewell.